This is Danny Flexon here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by Junaid Bostan, unbeaten prospect, and his manager now, SJAM Boxing, Shane Watson.
Hey, how's it going, man? You good?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah, so I guess start with you, Shane. Just tell us what you saw in Junaid that make you want to secure him to SJAM's books and how that all came about.
Yeah, well, basically, so we got Florian Marku getting trained by Grant Smith. So before that, obviously, we knew who Grant was because obviously he's a world level coach and whatnot. Always heard good things about him, but never directly really spoken to him or contacted him. So got into a regular contact, went down the gym a few times, and Grant just kept getting on to us about this guy called Junaid. And we were thinking, oh, do you know what, another guy. So we had a little look, we had a little talk around to a few guys, and everyone came back with like unbelievable comments about like, you really need to get your hands on this guy ASAP if you can, because this guy's going to be the next biggest thing. Like, he's got it all. He's got the personality, he's got the punch power, he's got the boxing ability, and he'd done quite a lot of rounds with Florian as well. So even Florian gave us a bit of an inside opinion on how good Junaid really is as well. And then I went down to his pro debut in Sheffield, and by far the performance of the night, he actually got paid extra money because the performance of the night, I think, actually. But nice little bonus for him. But and he looked unbelievable. I mean, even just in the dressing room, someone who's about to go into a pro debut, you wouldn't believe like the confidence on him. He was flashing some cheeky dance moves to some drum and bass before he walked out. He was saying what round it was going to end in. He was like already talking about when his next one was going to happen. And he's a completely different to anyone I've ever really met before. Like, just his personality, he's got it all. And the fact he's only 20 years of age is absolutely crazy to me. And we just went from there, really. There was a lot of other different management companies that were there to watch him that night. I'm aware of some of the other big companies that try to get their hands on him, and so it's an honour. And we're really proud to have been able to get our hands on Junaid because he was a bit of a hot property in boxing. And I just can't wait to get our first fight underway with him, really.
And leading from that, Junaid, there were clearly a lot of interested parties in securing your services. Yeah. Why were SJAM, or why are SJAM the right company for you?
Everything just sounded right. What I heard from Adam, what I heard from Shane, what I heard from others, it all seemed to be good advice, and like it seemed to meet eye to eye with what we wanted, and just seemed the right call. And obviously, you'll see that over the coming weeks when we do get results that we want.
We've heard Shane just now full of praise for your debut. How do you reflect on it? It was only last month, wasn't it?
Yeah, it happened the 11th of March. Yeah, man, it was a buzz. I really enjoyed it. In hindsight, I'm very glad that it happened where it did, and it happened in my hometown. I enjoyed it, man. It just felt like a buzz. I really, really enjoyed it. I wouldn't change a thing about it.
And for people out there that haven't maybe heard of you or heard from you before, just tell us the backstory. How did you first get into the sport, and how have you progressed so quickly? Because you're still very young.
Yeah, well, I'm 20 years old. I'm from Rotherham. I trained in Sheffield. Spent a lot of time in Sheffield. I've boxed all my life. My dad's had me in boxing since a really young kid. I've always been in gyms. I had a spell when I was young at the English gym. I then went to Grant at 12. I've won many national titles. I've competed for England in the Europeans multiple times. I turned over around 18, 19, but obviously with a lockdown and a few minor issues, I didn't have my debut till I was 20. But now here we are, and obviously I'm going to make the most of it, and we'll have a good day. I've had a good debut, and now it's just growing and developing from there. I'm trying to get to the top. I'm going to make the most of it.
Who did you kind of look up to when you were first getting into boxing, and who do you kind of admire now?
Well, when I first started, like really, really young, it was obviously Muhammad Ali. I used to watch all his tapes. Amir Khan, obviously, being Asian, Pakistani, I'm being half. Obviously, I was watching a lot of him. And then obviously spent time at the English gym. Kelbrook, Barry, Lee Wood, Jordan Gill, all these, man. I was watching a lot of these when I was younger, growing up. That, to be fair, that's invaluable. Realising I was watching them at such a young age, obviously that put me in good stead. Dalton, Sonny. But boxers away from the gyms, I'd say I watch a lot of Naseem, obviously. Hector Camacho. Just a lot of. I just watch a lot of boxing. If I'm honest with you, I won't say I've got a role model. I just watch a lot of boxing and take bits and pieces from everyone.
Shane, do you see similarities with Naseem, with Junaid?
100%. I actually did that as the quote when we released our statement today about signing Junaid, because, and it's not even just the ability's there as well. I mean, and that's something that's only going to get better at such a young age, but it's the personality of such a young man who just believes already he can beat some of the best guys and top guys. I mean, even on his pro debut, and it's very rare that you hear of it. Well, I think at the time when he was talking about fighting this guy who was 19, he wanted to fight a guy that was like 6-1 on his debut. And this isn't a guy that is an Olympic gold medalist or, or a Commonwealth Games gold medalist or something like that. Because usually that's expected from some of those guys. And even some of them guys don't do that. Yeah. But that's the kind of guy at such a young age that he wanted to go in there with. And the only reason why I didn't, I think there was a medical issue with the guy on fight week or something like that. But and that just makes mine and Adam's job a lot easier because he's not going to be too hard to match, mate. We don't have to give him 15 opponents and to get 14 no's and one yes. It makes our job a little bit easier. But he's just got that same kind of attitude where he just feels like he can beat everyone already. And the one thing he has got, which Prince Naseem HAMED maybe did lack later on in his career, was the dedication. He lives in the gym, and that's why I really trust him under Grant, because I know that Grant would accept nothing less than 100%.
I have no choice.
Does he drive you hard? Does he, Grant?
Oh, he does. And listen, you ask him why I signed to SJAM. This is why. Look how well he's selling me. He's doing well, isn't it?
Yeah, so far so good. I reckon you wouldn't have too much trouble selling yourself, to be honest. I'm getting that impression.
No, I definitely wouldn't. And hopefully they'll see this. Whoever sign with me, they'll have the little jackpot with me. Hopefully they'll see that.
Who do you do most of your sparring with in the gym, and also like bringing in people or traveling to other gyms?
Well, from a young age, I was very small at the start, believe it or not. So I've sparred everyone really. I've done a lot of rounds over the years with Dalton, especially like during lockdown. I was a lot smaller then, so that was good sparring. I've been sparring Florian recently for his camp. I've sparred Avanesian, I've sparred Kieran Conway, Laurent Richards. I've had a little spar with him. That were really good. I've sparred on top of me. I've sparred so many people, but I've enjoyed every single part of it. I've never felt out of my depth once, never, and I intend to keep it that way. And obviously, when I do grow and develop, and get to a stage where I'm at, where they are, I'm gonna fly for it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. What does that tell you about where you are, or your potential at least? Because Dalton's fighting for the British title in his next fight. Florian's arguably above domestic level, at least European level now. Where do you see yourself, potential wise, having sparred with them?
Potentially. Listen, I want to go straight to the top. I want to be world champion, 100%. I want to be a little millionaire, rolling off in my 30, chilling. Do you know what I mean? I don't expect nothing less. I don't want nothing else. I've not given my life away. Boxing, having my dad taking me to the gym early hours in the morning, and my mum like going through breaks in her at work, rushing me to the gym for anything else. I want to give me and my family a good life, and that's what I intend to do. And if that makes me, if it's taking me to just talk the way I'm talking, box the way I box, and that's what I'll carry on doing.
So Shane, you heard that he wants to be a millionaire. He wants to go straight to the top. How are SJAM going to facilitate that rise?
Well, I've always said to all of my guys before they've gone to pro, turned over pro, that's the ones that obviously we haven't signed that were already pro before. And even like some ones at early pros, there's no point doing this sport if you haven't got visions, like realistic visions and aspirations to be a world champion and to make a lot of money from the sport. Because it's too hard of a sport to go in there and just to be satisfied with being a British champion and not earning loads of money doing so. So I think with Junaid, I just think we need to get him a proper promoter first. That's what we need to do. We get him a proper televised promoter. And we're very close to doing that. We're expecting some news on that in the next week or so. And then we need to get him going, build his record up a little bit. But he's not going to be fighting, guys with 3 wins and 38 defeats and whatnot. We'll fight at the pace that Grant ultimately wants him to, because he's the one that's with him every day. We're not with him every day. And then we'll build him up that way, and we'll start looking for titles in maybe a couple of years. I don't think we need to do that straight away, because at such a young age, you fight at title level, you consistently have to operate at that level, and you don't want to be then looking like you have to be world champion at like 22 years of age when you're meant to prolong someone's career, not cut it short. So I think just go with the flow, see how we go the next 3 to 4 fights, like fighting maybe like 4-1 guys, 6-2 level kind of guys, see how we're going with those. And then pick up from there, really. I think the most important thing at his age right now is just keeping him active, getting him out there, getting people to know who Junaid really is, and building up a bit of a big fan base along the way, and then see where we go from there.
And Junaid, where do you want to go promotionally or TV wise? Is there one platform that attracts you more than another?
We'll have to keep that on the top. Me and Shay, I don't know what's what, and obviously we're going to work with that and see what we can get with the best deal. There's discussions. Obviously, I've got the best team to discuss that.
Shane, can you give us more of a hint?
Yeah, do you know what? We've spoken to a few guys. Do you know what? Where it's actually like a close point of it. It's almost like a bit silly if I did actually say who it is now, but like Junaid's definitely made it very clear to us who he wants to be with. And I guess when that gets announced, maybe next week or 10 days, you'll see exactly who that person was. But yeah, he made it very clear. He had one real place in mind where he wanted to go. So, and we're close to doing that now. So once that's done, we'll get Junaid on the road and we'll get him out doing what he does best, which is beating people up and knocking them out toward the end of it as well. So,
Junaid, without revealing who it was you really wanted to go with, what were you looking for in terms of a promoter or a platform? What were kind of the boxes you wanted to be ticked?
A promoter, a platform, what's met eye to eye with me and my team of what we wanted and how I want to be moved. Be fighting regularly on a good platform and obviously good money. That's just really that, really.
How important is it for you to kind of have your profile being enhanced as well as part of not just of the promotional platform, but in your own right? Is it just about getting in the ring, doing your job, getting the wins, or do you want to become a star, a crossover attraction?
I don't just want to fight. I want to sell myself. At the end of the day, it's a business boxing. Professional boxing is a business. I understand that, and I've got the personality to sell anyway. So it goes without saying, I really want to be on a big platform. I want to have them big nights, and I intend to get in there as quick as I can. But obviously, I'm going to be held back by the team and Grant. That's what they want me to do. So I'll do as I'm told. But I want to be on a big platform and I want to sell. And they'll see that once I am on them big platforms, because it's only a matter of time.
Shane, SJAM have always kept their stable relatively small, given that one-to-one level of attention that fighters love and deserve. Why is Junaid the right person to bring on board and increase that stable, albeit only a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you can sign maybe 12 to 13 fighters and still keep that one-to-one kind of management thing which is like what we do, and that was very much our ethos when we started the company. Well, I say I didn't actually start it, but and yeah, I think Junaid fits the bill perfectly. I mean, like I said, he's got the talent, he's got the ability, which first and foremost is one of the most important things. So it's a bit of a hard sport if you don't have that. I think he's a good-looking lad. He's got a good support base around him. He's got a massive fan base already in his local area, and he can punch. And in 154 division for now, I mean, he could definitely go up the weights like in time to come, and he's just kind of got the all-round package really. He's not like trying to, without sounding cringe, trying to think of something that he hasn't got, which is the reason why we wouldn't want to sign him, is the harder thing to answer rather than what he has got. So he's kind of got it all really. And like I said, he's with Grant as well, which is a man that we have a lot of respect for, a man that has proven at every level that he's a world elite level coach. And him and Junaid haven't just linked up because of us. I mean, that's what I said. Grant actually introduced him to us. They've been together since Junaid was a kid. Mm-hmm. So, you know, they know each other inside out. And I just feel like the praise that even Grant has given him, telling him he's one of the most talented fighters he's ever trained in his whole career and life. And some of the other boys telling me how they're way. So what's that?
He told you that.
Yeah, he said that a few times. Yeah, maybe I wasn't supposed to say it.
Yeah, but he'll deny it.
And then even Dalton and whatnot have said about how he could be the most talented fighter to come out of the gym. And Sonny put it out today on social media as well. It just speaks levels. And these are two guys that are arguably some of the most talented people in British boxing as well. I mean, Sonny's proven it, and I think Dalton's well on his way there. It goes a long way and says about how talented Dalton really is. Not Dalton really is, well, Dalton as well.
Dalton's not with SJAM, so careful. Junaid, last word to you. For people out there who haven't seen you fight before, obviously you've only had one pro fight so far. What are you all about? What's your USP? What makes you different?
Well, I can box southpaw, orthodox. I can switch. I can box. I can fight. I can do it all, really. I can really do it all. Obviously, there's areas to improve on. I know that. Grant shows me that daily in the gym. Sonny, Dalton, John, Florian, everyone's advising me. So I've only got one way to go, and that's to the top. As long as I listen, keep on doing what I'm doing. If you want to have a little taster before you see me on them TVs at JD Bostan, and yeah, man, you'll see a lot more of me.
Great stuff. Really appreciate your time, guys, and yeah, look forward to watching the journey.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, mate.
Thank you.